Welcome to this complete guide to cows on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. I think it's about that time for a complete guide to cows. Now I'm going to start off by saying at the time of recording this, as far as I can tell, what I'm doing is accurate and correct. Now as mods start to get released, there could be all sorts of bits of machinery that further down the line will make all these processes a lot easier. But as it stands at the moment in game on FS22, I think this is how we should be doing it. The cows, as you can see, are glorious. They look amazing. These are the Holsteins. And now what I've done is I've got some of each. We've got one load to collect. I've sort of preset some bits up. But what I need to do before I start is just delete something. Just bear with me. Okay, I think we're good to go. So, what we're going to start with is we're going to look at, well, I suppose the first thing you're going to need, before you get any cows at all, are some buildings to put the cows in. That would be our first step. So we're going to open this menu, go down to the 3 horizontal bars at the bottom, then we're going to go to construction, along to animals, onto cows, and then down to the pens below. We have got a cow pasture. The cow pasture is 75 grand and holds 15. Then we've got a cow barn, which is 254,000, holds 45. We've got a cow barn large, which is 518,500. They're not cheap, holds 80. And then we've got the cow barn with feeding robot, which is 722,500 and holds 80. Those are the buildings you're going to need if you're going to put cows in them. Lovely. I've put one of each down. So I've got the pasture there, standard barn, large barn, barn with robot. Now, these 3, I've put animals in already just for the sake of speeding time up. This one here, the pasture, we need to put some animals in. So once we've got our pastures, next thing we're going to need, or pastures and barns, the next thing we're going to need are some animals. So we're going to jump over to the livestock market. Now you can do it directly from here on each one of them where you've got the little paw print. Now you don't have to have these icons on, you can have them all off, but to start off with, it does make life a little bit easier so you know where things go. So if we click on it, we can go into our menu straight away and we can start off. That's not a problem. Now as far as I've been able to, well, as far as I've checked, between with seasons growth on and seasons growth off, these are all exactly the same. The options are all still the same. So the animals and things will all still be like this regardless of what your season growth is doing. The animal menus will still remain the same. So we're going to go over to the animal dealer, and just to show you, loading some up, bringing some down. It's not a lot different to FS19 in that respect, but we'll do it. You might be new to the game, you might not have ever done cows before, so let's go. Does that Max Superliner not just look absolutely awesome with that colour scheme? Love it. And we've got a livestock trailer on the back. Again, if you're not aware of all these things, we'll have a look at the vehicles, all the stuff. It'll all be there. If we go to our tools and equipment and we go down to animal transport, that's where all things animal will be. But saying that, standard in game at the moment, like I say, there's no mods yet. It's actually the 22nd of November today. We've got the Wilson Silver Star, which will take 12 cows, 36 pigs, and 38 sheep. There's still not anything in game that will allow you to transport chickens, unfortunately. Sorry about that. And then the horses obviously will be in either one of those, but this is the cow one, so we've got one of those. What we're going to do is hop in, or we don't have to hop in, we can do it from here as well, either way around. Click on here. Now, the ones I don't have at the moment are the brown Swiss. So, what are the different? Why have we got 3 of each of each? If we look at the first one, the cheapest option. These are newborns. So it says age 0 months, reproduction 10 months. So cows will provide you with milk and can be sold for profit. This is mainly used for dairy farming. So the brown Swiss are a dairy breed. So you can buy them brand new, newborns, but they're going to take a while before they can start reproducing. And the other thing I need to check, which I haven't done yet, because obviously we're going to go through this cycle, but we will get to, on the old season system, they wouldn't start producing milk until they'd had young, which would be at 10 months. That's another reason why I think the next option down we've got age 12 months. So reproduction, 10 months. Cows provide you with milk and can be self-profit, same thing. But these ones are 12 months old. They're already a year in. They should be reproducing straight away, but it does say 10 months there. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're older, a bit, ready to go sort of thing. Then we've got the brown Swiss. Or maybe it is 10 months because it's from when they are sort of gestation, I guess. Well, we'll see how that pans out. These are 18 months old, much older. These are your established cows. Now, the Holsteins are the same. Each one of them is the same. 0 months, 12 months, 18 months. But the brown Swiss and Holsteins are your dairy cows. Now, this is something else we're going to be checking in this video because we've got Angus and we've got Limousin. I say Limousin, Limousin. Depends where in the world you're from and how you pronounce it. Your Angus are beef. This says cows provide you with milk and can be sold for profit. This type is mainly used for breeding. So they're beef cattle is the point. Now it does say cows provide you with milk and can be sold for profit. So it's possible, and that's what we're going to be doing in a minute. It's possible that you will get milk from these, but they won't be as prolific as the brown Swiss. But then when you come to sell your dairy cows, they won't be worth as much as the beef ones. That's kind of where it's going to be going with it. So again, it's a sort of slightly watered down version of the season system we had before. But you do have a dairy breeds and you do have your beef breeds. Same with these, 0, 12 months, 18 months. The more mature, the more expensive. And then we've got the Limousin. I'm going to say limousines. I'm going to stick with that. It's probably wrong, but that's how I've always heard it said here, or wherever I've heard it. But anyway, 0, 12, and 18. And same thing with those ones. They provide you milk. Now, if you're going to do it from your pens, a transport fee is charged. Here, if you pick up yourself, obviously it's nothing. That hasn't changed from the previous version. So I'm going to get one of each. Did I get one of each or 3 of each? I can't remember. I've gotten each of the things now. Might have only been one of each. We're not going to get a lot of milk, are we, if I only did one of each? But here's the other thing. When we go into this menu now, if I click on that, rather than that constant tap, 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 tap you had to do before on console, we can now go from one animal all the way up to, I think it's 28. So you can buy them in like chunks. Oh, why is that doing 12? Oh, 12 is better than 1. So we can do them in chunks if we want to. I'll buy, we'll get 3 of these, I think. 3 of those. We'll get 3 of those. And it stays there as well, you haven't got to keep moving that, so we can do that too. And then we'll get 3 of those. They should all be in the trailer. You can just see them through there. I'm just about to see them through there. So we're going to head back. I'll see you back there in a minute. We'll load these up. Okay, just seeing if I've got myself a route through. Probably not. It's taken me a while to set things up. I want to make sure I kind of cover all the angles, so to speak. But it's funny how some of the things I've fell straight back into the FS19. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's kind of the frame of reference, but right, let's start reverse. So what we'll do now is open that. Here we go. Cows are in. I think I did the same with the others. I'm glad I didn't do one of each. That would have been a mistake. So, with our animals in each of the pens, we need to now turn our attention to feed, water and bedding. They're all going to need them. Now, saying that, the pasture is one that we need to check. So if we go into this menu and then we scroll down until we get to our animal pens. So we've got our first pen there, the cow pasture. And that one, because it's a pasture, doesn't require straw. It says productivity, water, milk. Total mixed ration, hay and grass. Doesn't need straw because it's a pasture. But you won't get manure from it. I don't think you'll get slurry either. And potentially, well, it says milk there, so we will get milk from it. If we go down to our Holsteins, again, you've then got, yeah, so then you've got on the Holsteins there, straw and slurry added in on the right-hand side. And then our Angus, the same. Milk, well, it does say milk. So our Angus is, and then we're going to limousines, they do say milk as well. So straw, slurry. Now, as far as manure goes, and this is a weird one too, I'm not quite sure why this has been done. The manure silos pits are separate. And it does say in the menu, we'll go into it and then we'll go down to the menu. Down here, it says about them somewhere. So in this menu, the help menu, it's very handy. There's a few bits and bobs in there that kind of help you out. If we go down to types, then feed and waste, it says there at the very bottom, adding straw bedding to a cow or pig enclosure creates manure for the farm. A separate manure heap needs to be placed next to the barn via the build mode menu. So obviously barn, being that the pasture it won't, I have placed one there. That's as close as it would let me place it. So I put one there next to that one. I think I put one at the back over there next to that one, and there's one over there for that one. Now whether that will fill automatically or whether I need to muck them out and put them there, in fact it's saying you need them separate to put there. But again, as we move forward, we will see that process happening. So they don't need straw. We have got a bit here which is assuming where we're going to get the milk from, but they need water. These do anyway, because we've got the water symbol. So if you get a pasture, you need to take them water. If you buy a barn, you don't. Big difference from FS19. If you buy a barn, because of the price you're paying for them, the water is plumbed in. So water is automatically done. You don't have to touch it. They automatically get water. No problem. Because I was in that mode of, oh yeah, must get a big water tanker because I've got to fill up all four, but I didn't need to. So we'll back up. We need to get to the water one. I don't know if it's just because this is full, but this is really struggling to pull this. I'm getting a lot of wheel slip. I had the same when I was back up the other trailer. But then there is a lot now in game with regard to weights and weight limits. Smaller tractors will not pull or not pull easily some of the bigger stuff. Right. So water going in. But the other, like I say, the others won't need it, so we can get this out of the way as well. So next we turn our attention to bedding. Now there are a couple of ways of doing this. We've got our straw blower in game. There's one at the moment, which is this one right here. This is the Anderson Pro Chop. You'll find the tools and the equipment if we go down to animals. So most of the stuff I'm using, I do have a couple of the Silo Kings. I've got the Ferguson Plus. I've got the water container, I've got the Pro Chop, all from here under the animals section. I've got under vehicles, what did I go for? Under animals, we have also got the Leader PF 2.26 plus Eco Mode Ferguson. We've got that one as an option for a self-propelled feed mixer. I've then got a wheel loader, I've got telehandler with bale forks and silage buckets and things like that. But they're sort of peripheral bits and bobs that you will need. But that's where I got the straw blower from. Now, we can put bedding in with the straw blower, or we can put bedding in loose. Now, what I have taken the time to do, I've got a load of bales there, so we can make total mixed ration. What I also did, because I didn't have any loose material, I used the bales, put them into the mixer wagons, and made them into loose material. And I've got a hayloft. So in the hayloft, well, if you've got the help, the field info window open, bottom right, that tells me how much straw and how much hay I've got in the hayloft. And for each of the things as well, I don't think it will tell me for the pile. I did the same with silage. I put the silage bales into there, made it loose, put it on the ground, so we can do loose mixes to make our feed. We've got these as well, which we're going to get to later for feed. But straw bedding we can put in as bales or we can put in loose. So what I'm going to do first, and it's very strange, I'll show you with the first one, and it's the same on each of them. If you want to do it with the straw blower, now everything's nicely marked, everything's nicely labelled, but not where you put the straw in, which is interesting, because even it says you need to use a blower, and I went round and round and round and round, and I could not for the life of me work out where it had to go. But if you go right to this corner, it's very odd. It will come up in just a moment. There. It will blow the straw from there. Now I tried driving through the building and it wouldn't come up. You watch it work now. Look, if I drive in through the building, it doesn't come up with the option to blow the straw. It only does it at the corner. On each of the barn buildings, on this rear ramp, or front ramp, depending which way you put it around, it will come up there. So R1 triangle. You can put round bales into this, square bales in. This is I think it's a 9,000 litre straw bale. And here's the other weird thing. So it's blowing the straw in from here, but it appears down here. I don't know why. And the weird thing about it is this door actually opens as well. So why do you not come along and it blow here? I did try. It doesn't work from there. It's a very odd thing. I don't know whether the trigger needs to be moved. I suppose it is putting some in there as well. Mixed with the two. But anyway, and you see, there we go. Our 9,000 litre bale has been used. So we can do it with bales, but we can also do it loose as well. So I'm going to grab the self-propelled mixer. Don't think I need this now. Pull that to one side. As it stands at the moment, I did try to do it with just solid bales and put a bale down, because in the previous version of the game, and a lot of them you could just put bales down in the straw area and it would accept them no problem at all. In this case it wouldn't take a full bale. It either had to be blown or it had to be put in loose. So I'll go under our hayloft. I'm going to put some straw in, but I'm not going to fill it, and I'll show you why. Because there's something else really, really cool about the new game. Now, again, if you're new to the game, you won't know this anyway, but if you're not, if you recall with mixer wagons and things like this, every time you got a bale near them, in the rough area, the bales would vanish, just boom, into thin air. No, I mean vanish, they would go into the mixer, but they would vanish. Now that was fine, but the problem you always had was, if for example you only need to put 3,000 litres in there, and you had a 5,000 or 4,000 litre bale, the surplus would vanish, you'd lose it. Now each of these bales is 9,000 litres, so 18,000. Now that entire mixer only holds 26. What's great about this is when you put them in, it gradually chops them. So the bales, they don't just disappear, like now they would have disappeared. If I pull those like that and look at them, so the bales are gradually being chopped and it's gradually filling. But the full bale that's still there won't disappear. You don't lose any extra. That full bale will sit there. So that mixer wagon has got 26,000 litres in it, as you can see, but it has also got the part of the other bale. So once I start using this, it will chop that as well. You won't lose any product at all, which is great if you're doing individual things like this. Total mix ration, that's a slightly different animal, but so what we'll do... Oh no, I did this one, didn't I? Oh no, I did that one. I need to change my side to tip side left. And if you do it with loose material, when you go along the rail with loose material, there you go, it comes up straight away. And we can put our straw in. Now you can simulate going all the way along the side if you want to, or you can just leave it and it will chug away. And the great thing is, it will take what's there and it's already chopping up the bale that's in there as well, so you're not going to lose anything. You know, if it went above 26,000, you'll still get the maximum out of those bales. As you can see, that solid bale has now been chopped and is gone. So that can be done on all three. Now again, like I say, what we'll do after this, we're going to speed up time because I want to see, one, where the manure comes out. We're going to see the situation with regard to milk. Do the beef breeds produce milk? If they do, is it a slower rate than the others? And that kind of thing. So that's putting straw bedding in. I will do the others in a little while. Next is making our total mix ration. Now if we go into our menu here and we go up to our pens, and you'll see there that it says total mix ration, hay and grass. Now total mix ration will give 100%, like it says down the bottom there. Total mix ration effectiveness 100%, so you get best production with total mix ration. If you only want to give them hay, if you don't want to have to mess around making total mix ration, and you've done a load of fields, you've got a load of hay that you've tedded and it's good to go, that's 80%. If you don't even want to bother doing that, you can just give them grass and it's 40. And you want them to be as healthy as possible so they produce as much milk as they can and reproduce as well as they can. So total mix ration, generally speaking, is usually the way to go. So here's the thing. Let's go up to the one where we put, there we go. So our straw's in there. Straw's in there as well. Total mix ration then. Now, there are all different ways of making this up, and the mix I always kind of went with was I would split whatever the maximum or the quantity was for the feed mixer. I would split it into quarters. I would do 1/4 straw, 1/4 silage, and then half or 2/4 would be hay. That was my mix. You didn't have to. You could do a half and half mix of just hay and silage. So the couple of things I want to check was, is that still the case? Can we still do that on FS22? Can you do a mix of just silage and just hay, or does it need to be all three? Plus, the added ingredient on FS22 is this. This is mineral feed that comes in pallets. And the mineral feed can be added in, which we'll have a look if we jump into the mixer. If you look at the menu at the top left, you've got, actually put it by the barn because you can see it a little bit better. So you've got your hay, you've got your silage, you've got your straw, and that little symbol down below that is the mineral feed. Do you need to have mineral feed in the mix? Well, I'll answer that straight away. No, you don't. But if you want to go kind of a bit more realistic, you're adding that supplement in, something a little bit extra, you know. And can you make it? Well, we can make these mixes with bales, loose products. Either way around is fine. Now, it's tricky because because the game now, if you haven't watched my All Things Bales video, because bales now come in about 95 different varieties and shapes and sizes, whereas before it was bales of 4,000 litres, I'll do multiples of 4,000. Or if you were doing loose product from a hayloft, you could tailor it a little bit more specifically. Because they're all different sizes now, it becomes a lot harder to get a definitive mix. So paying attention to the left-hand side of that mixing ratio is crucial. Now I'm going to stick to the ratio I used to, just hopefully to get the mix we need. So this will be doing it loose. So straw, in this one I think I need about 6,500 litres, but I don't know if I'm going to get that, but we'll see. 6.3, that will do. So if we do it in 6,500 chunks, we're going to be at 13, we're knocking on 19,000, maybe a little bit more. So what I want to do now is add my hay in. And watch those numbers. Now my straw should go into the green, hopefully. Right, so now silage needs to go in. Now what the silage should do, it should bring the hay one down a little bit more, the grass one down, the straw one down a little bit more, and we should be all in the green. Now this will hold 26,000 litres, so you can pad out mixes as you go. Like I say, I have already got a mixer, a wheel loader with a silage bucket if I was using a trailed one, but because this is self-propelled, we can actually tailor it ourselves, turn it on, and we can take exactly what we need. So the straw should go into the green. Silage will keep going up. I want to get that into the green as well. Don't want to get much more, so we'll get into the green. Right, that's saying green. Now this holds 26,000 litres. And if you look bottom right, you can just about see the little logo, the little icon. That is total mix ration. Now the total mix ration and the forage icon are almost identical. The forage icon is a little bit busier, it's a little bit fussier, there's a lot more going on with it, whereas the total mix ration icon has got a little green shoot coming out the top and a little yellow one coming out, or greenish yellow one coming out the side. We have our total mix ration now, everything's in the green. Now I can, if I want, add a bit of the mineral feed in as well. So I can bulk this up, hopefully, to 26,000 litres. I'm just worried about that silage dropping down and going to the red. We'll stop there, that will do. But we have got total mix ration made with loose product, no problem at all. That's wonderful, that's with the self-propelled. Now, what I said before was, can you do it just silage and hay. So this one here, I think I made this mix up with just silage and hay. So we find out. We'll hook it up. Look at the top left. So that one, just silage and hay, no mineral feed, no straw. Bottom right, that is saying total mix ration. No problem at all. Now it's full at 22,000 litres. Doing it with bales is going to be a case of finding roughly the right size bales, and that's going to be a lot of trial and error. This one is a mix of everything, I think. Oh no, did I put... Yeah, I did put a little bit of mineral feeds in this one as well. That was kind of done with bales, but a little bit trickier. So that's total mix ration from Loose, showing that you can just do a silage and hay mix if you want to. You don't have to put straw in, you don't have to put the mineral feed in if you don't want to. If that's too much mucking around, too expensive, or you just think, you know what, I'll just do it the way I've always done it, that's absolutely fine. Now comes the bales. Now I've gone for these ones because they're 5,000 litres each. They're 4,500, which is close enough. Two of those together will give me half a mix, especially in this particular wagon. Now I know it's difficult because people are looking for a precise mix ratio, but because of the bale situation in game now, that's not possible, you know, because trying to find ones that will give you a total mix and fill that up completely with bales is almost impossible now. There's going to be a little bit of either you'll have space left in there, or you know, you don't want to overfill it. And then these ones I think are 5s as well. Now here's the great thing too, you can cut these open. So if you're worried about putting wrap, you don't want to put the wrap in and mess up your mixer wagon, which I know a lot of people don't like doing. We can cut all these bales open now. Now I know we could do it before, I don't know if we could do it on all the bales, silage bales. I know we could do it on the ones that went through the Anderson, those long bale sausages, you could always open those up. But yeah, so you can take the wrap off before they go into the machine. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to kind of do a mix the same. So I'm going to, because that's a 22,000 litre, and these are roughly at 5,000, 4,500. I'm going to, actually know what I'll do, I'll come from the side because I want two of these. I'm going to do 2 hay, which will give me 9,000 litres. There we go. I'm going to do 1 straw, 1 silage, and we'll see where we're at. We should be at total mix ration. That should start mixing. Please be mixing. Yep, it's mixing. One of these. So what I'll do off camera is put total mix ration in all of them, put bedding in all of them. The end one's going to be interesting because that's got the robot in, and that one, I think you can put total mix ration in normally, but if you've got a robot, why would you do that? Because we can actually put loose product into the bunkers, which we'll try as well. We'll do that. We'll get more chugging, and we'll see where we go with regards to milk and all those kind of things. Now obviously, longer term, then there's, you know, if you want to sell them, the beef ones will be worth more and that kind of thing. But, oh, I should have taken the wrap off that one. I took it off the bottom ones. I meant to do it and then didn't. Sorry about that. There we go. We're at 19,000 litres. That is saying it's at total mix ration now. Because of where my silage and... I'm just thinking 19... yeah, it's amounts, isn't it? I could chuck another hay in there or silage or something like that to bring up to its full 22,000 litres. But I've got 19,000 litres of total mix ration there. We're good to go. So I've got 3 here. Good to go with total mix ration. I'm on tip side left, which is where I want to be. I'm going to put the first bit of total mix ration here, and then we'll move on to filling up those bunkers for the feed robots. That's the one I'm buzzing about anyway. Okay, why are we not getting it coming up? Tip side right. If I put on tip side left, nothing. Do I need to be more central along this? Oh, there we go. I just wasn't. I was too close to the rail. Okay, Right, so let's tap this ration going in there. Turn the engine off. Oh no. It needs to be running, doesn't it? Right, we'll leave that put in Thomas ration. Whoa, cows running about. Now, this was always going to be a slightly longer video, simply because of everything we need to show, and I needed to make sure I showed as much as I possibly could. I'll fill this up. I'll see you in a moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this up with silage. I'll take it over. I'll fill it up with straw, take it over, fill it up with hay, we take it over. We'll put it into the bunkers, and then we'll take over some of the feed. We actually might take one of those mineral feed on a pallet because there's a place for it to go. Then the robot, the robot should feed them. He says, should feed them. So we'll do the feed here. Farm dog loves TMR. Absolutely loves TMR. So let's get the feed in for these ones as well. We don't want to miss them out, do we? That would be bad. Okay, feed's going in. Before we move forward, I have taken straw bedding over to the robotic barn. I have taken straw to put into the bunker, silage to put into the bunker, and this is the hay. I'm assuming once the hay goes over there, I've also moved some mineral feed over there, that whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I'm assuming some magic. But I just thought I would also show you this all but silage fork for the wheel loader. This thing is a madman as a bale fork. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. They never worked very well on FS19, but watch this. Look at that. That's awesome. Multi-purpose is not the word. Silage work, straw, all that kind of stuff, and then an absolute bonkers bale fork, bale spike. Love it. The other thing is, this is from Mr. Daddy Gaz. Thank you, Gaz. Honestly, this is awesome. Into this menu, no, that menu. We'll go down to construction. He said, "Were you aware of this?" No, I wasn't. If we go into our build menu, and then you go to a building like this, the building becomes highlighted, highlit. If I do R3, it gives you the option to rename buildings and barns and things. So that's the Noel Coward barn. Of course it is. Each one's been given a name now. This one, what did I call this one? That was the Milky Bar barn. And then the last one, I'm trying to think, what did I call the last one? That's pretty cool though. Oh yeah, the Cyberdyne Systems Milkmaid. If you know, you'll know. Actually, I don't know. Can you do it with anything? You can. I could rename my haylofts, or you know, whatever. So there you go. You can rename your buildings, make them a little bit more personal. Right. Let's check out the robot. I have got some production. I've got some milk being produced. The beef ones aren't yet, but then to be fair, the beef ones this end haven't been fed. Now I'm assuming either when I put this in or when I put the mineral feed, something's going to happen, because if it doesn't, I can't see the point of these bunkers or why it would be called robotics. So let's empty this. Now I was trying to find the capacity as well for this, and I couldn't find the capacity. If I go over to here now, I put 110,000 litres in here and it was still taking it. So it should just need mineral feed as far as I can tell. Water's already in here. I couldn't find, there's not an on switch for the robot. Now I can't imagine these are just silos that you just put here so you can come and bring your feed mixer. Otherwise, why is it robotic? The picture showed this kind of moving. And that, I assume, comes out of there. I mean, if it doesn't, I will be very surprised. So is that now in? It is 26,000 litres. So what we're going to do, I assume this is where this goes. There you go. It's taking the mineral feed. I've got one there as well, which isn't too great. And there you have it. The feeding robot on the hour. The shutters come down. It does its thing. It puts a little bit in each hour, not huge amounts. The point about it being is it's supposed to feed them enough to keep them going at an hourly rate. And the thing about that as well is, it's obviously designed as long as you keep these troughs filled up, they'll never run out. You haven't got to worry about it. As long as they're done, you haven't got to keep coming back to feed them every now and again. It will do it for you. It's not huge amounts, but it works. I mean, you can supplement it by putting feed into the trough as well if you wanted to, but I suppose it will still do that. It won't allow you to go in there to record. I was trying to get in here to do it. If you're in here on the hour, the shutter doesn't come down, it doesn't run through its system, it doesn't its operation. But that's the robots. Other things, a point of note is unlike FS19, where if you had a cow, a barn, a hayloft, whatever it was, and it said 250,000 litres, usually, as a rule, that meant 250,000 litres of each product. This one, or have I used some of it now? I'm just thinking. Oh, I might have used some now. I tried to put more in and it stopped. I thought that's weird, and it actually worked out that both amounts in there came to 250,000 litres. So it's 250,000 litres in total, not separate. Now, where are we looking after a couple of hours moving forward? Well, the brown Swiss out in the pasture are absolutely rocking and rolling. Up to 40% productivity. It's gradually going up. Now, bearing in mind, you know, as far as reproduction goes, it's only going to be ones of a reproductive age that are going to until the others get to that point. But that's, you know, it's gradually getting there. Milk, 37 litres. They're quite happy. They're doing their thing. The Holsteins, productivity is only at 15%. I've got the same amount in there, the same of each type, and milk, 10 litres. So not as great. Health is okay. Actually, I'll show you that one. Health for the brown Swiss is 40% and productivity is 40%. Holsteins, health is 40%, but productivity is only 15. I'm not quite sure why that is. The Angus, health 40, productivity 15, no milk, because these are the beef animal. Oh, but that's what I wanted to check. Are we going to get milk from them? It comes up there saying milk, but I haven't got any yet. And then the limousines, they've really only just been kind of fed the last couple of hours. They've got 4,193 litres in there, which the robot has done. Health at 30, which is climbing now. They're a little bit behind everyone else because obviously they didn't get any feed for a while. And then productivity is at 11%. They will just increase in value as we move forward. So what I'm going to do, hopefully I've got enough feed to get through at least one day. I know with seasons on before, was it a day or two? 2 days it might have been. You could get away without feeding them. So we'll skip through till tomorrow, and we'll see where we stand. I've got a funny feeling the brown Swiss are going to be the milk kings. I know it was supposed to be the Holsteins, but we'll see where we're at. And then I would imagine that tomorrow both of those will still be on zero milk. The weird thing is as well, I don't think I'm getting any manure yet. I'm not quite sure why these aren't working. The manure heaps are still saying zero. I've got nothing that needs mucking out. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to put them onto it, like attach them to the side somewhere, but it says put them close to, which is what I've done, and it hasn't actually made any difference. I've got no manure there. So the manure heaps at the moment are a bit of a baffle for me. I know this is a complete guide to. Yeah, I mean, I suppose what I can do is delete one and try and put one closer or something. I'm trying to fathom why it's not working. Why it's saying 0 litres, I don't know. So I'll see you in the morning, and let's see where we stand with regard to each of the animals. I mean, all the processes are all in place as far as doing everything else, but we'll go from there. It's just gone 7 o'clock in the morning. Now I've got, just for the purposes of doing this, I've got my seasons set on 1 day per month. So we've gone September, we're now into October. Let's check out, I mean, all the animals are doing absolutely fine. And what I'm also, I know I haven't got many of each, I've got 3 of each, but we start with our brown Swiss. The values are going up on each. Obviously the milkers not by as much, we'll see in a second. Health for the brown Swiss is at 100%. Water's doing fine. Total mix ration, fine. They haven't used a huge amount. It's been a month, I mean, technically. 618 litres of milk. Obviously, the more cows you get, the more milk you're going to get. Now, unlike on seasons in FS19, they had to have given birth before they produce milk. Well, we're getting milk. Now, it might only be for the older one, but here's the thing. Where are we? There we go. So the brown Swiss, they've changed places on the order. The cow that is now 1 month old, that was a newborn, doesn't reach reproductive age until 18 months and above. So that's saying nothing for reproduction. That's fine. The one that's at 13 months, again, nothing for reproduction, hasn't hit there. But the one that we bought that was 18 months already is now 19 months. Reproduction is saying 10%. So I've got a funny feeling each month that will now go up 10%. So it's going to take 9, and then into the 10th month, they'll give birth. So obviously the more of them you've got, and there's 3 of them that will do that. So we'll get 3 new births and the more cows you've got. So looking at that again, Holsteins is the same if we go down to 1 month old, that's the same, 13-month-old, our 19-month-old reproduction rate. And the milk on them, they're at 78% productivity, so a little bit down on the brown Swiss. Milk 243 litres, a little bit less milk as well. I'm not sure why. I'm assuming the brown Swiss are just better milkers. Then onto our meat animals, our beefers. No milk whatsoever for our Angus, but the prices have gone up by quite a lot. Our newborn, the price has gone up. Our 13-month-old, not a bad price up as well. And our reproduction rate has gone up for this one, but also look at the price, 2,422. Amazing. And the same with the limousines. Same story. They're being fed by the robot. The robot's over the last month, has fed them 27,919 litres. They don't seem to be using, because I thought over the course of a day, if they're only putting about 2,000 litres in, they're going to get through that. But I suppose that's per hour, isn't it? But yeah, they're chugging away. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to skip forward 2 days. There's something I want to test, but I don't want to test. I want to see whether or not, if they run out of feed, will the animals die. I don't really want to do that. Yeah, I'm not too keen on doing that. But I will see you tomorrow morning, or next month. So we'll be into November. We might even get some snow, actually. I'm just thinking. That'd be interesting. Right then. Another month has gone by. We're into November. I'll try and make this as quick. I'm just thinking I'm going to have to edit the others together quite tight because there's a lot of information to get across here. Unlike previous complete guides to cows, where it was just the basics, and then when seasons came out, they were a bit more in depth. We're trying to roll in everything kind of all into one. It's a little bit more complicated. Everything is, though, looking fantastic. Milk's up 1,593 litres. Productivity is still 100%. Total mixed ration is dropping a bit, but not horrendously. And like I said, when the month has gone by, reproduction has gone up to 20% on the cow that's old enough to be able to reproduce. Same with the others. The Holsteins are up to 960 litres. Again, they're a little bit behind. And the Angus and the Limousines, no milk because they're beef animals. But again, the prices have gone up. So we are rocking and rolling. It's all going really well, you know. The Angus, it's interesting actually that the Holsteins aren't using as much feed compared to the brown Swiss, but the brown Swiss are producing more milk. The Angus, I think the Angus have gone up more in value. Actually, it's the same, isn't it? 1845, 2538, and 460. Yeah, they're exactly the same value. Although the Angus, mind you, the Angus aren't in the pen with the feeding robot. So the feeding robot, once it's reached its top up, is keeping it topped up, which has taken a couple of months. Whereas the Angus, I would need to top up. But there's a big difference in price between those pens. We're talking 500 and something, isn't it? 518,500 and 722,500 for the pens. Here's the other thing as well that I haven't pointed out yet. When you go into the pen, it's got all the information. Bottom, my Noel Coward barn. For feed and all the rest of it, milk, and obviously doesn't show milk. But if you go to each individual animal, it will then show you on the animal what it is, its age, its count of how many. It's one of however many are in there of that particular age. I think the others ones will be here. That's the Angus. That's at 14 months, and that's the Angus at 20 months. Does she look bigger? She's pregnant? I don't think so. That would be incredible if they did. So what I'm going to do, I will scroll through 1 month, possibly 2 months now, and see where we're at. I don't want to go too far ahead. I'm not going to go right the way through and keep going until they give birth. You get the idea. Now, in 10 months' time, you'll get some new births. You can also get the concept as well that if you want to go fully realistic and you want to take on newborns, take them right the way through the process to be able to produce for you, you can. If you want to buy them in, ready to go, ready to reproduce and ready to produce milk, you want to get them slightly a bit older, or there's all various different ways around of doing it. It's brilliant. It's working really well. The robot had me a little bit confused to start off with, but we're good. Right. It's January. We never got any snow. The forecast, I've got snow on. We didn't get any. And weirdly as well, the temperature didn't go below about 12 degrees. I thought we'd get like sub-zero temperatures. I was really kind of baffled by that. 17 degrees February, 25 degrees centigrade. That can't be right, surely. I think probably because I've got it set on 1 day per month. I think probably once you start stretching those months out and have more days in each month, you get a more detailed weather forecast for each of those days within that month. I would imagine that's probably why we didn't get any snow. But as far as the animals go, everything is exactly how we think it's going to be. Values are going up. The brown Swiss now 3,393 litres. They're the actual star. They're the stars for milking at the moment. The Holsteins aren't far behind 2,310 litres. The brown Swiss still though are using more feed. They're getting to a point where they need some more feed. Holsteins, yeah, looking great. The Angus and the Limousines values are going up, and the reproduction rates for all of them are now at 40% because we're 4 months in. So in 10 months' time, we'll get some new births. So you haven't got to worry about not getting milk until they've had births. You will get milk from the start. You just have to wait for the reproduction for 10 months. So that's cows. Complete-ish guide to cows. Still nothing in the manure pits in any of them. The third one, I moved much closer over. Nothing. I haven't got any manure in any of them. Now, I know with seasons FS19, if you didn't give them straw, you got slurry. If you gave them straw, you got manure, but you didn't get slurry. I'm getting plenty of slurry. I'm just not getting any manure. Answers on a postcard, if you know why. I've tried everything. Every trick in the book. I've tried all the things I could think of. I've messaged a couple of people who might know, and but no one's quite sure at the moment. So, but anyway, I think pretty much that's cows. Enjoy. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.